Welcome back, everyone. I am your host for today's festivities, Vaudable, and joining me, as always, is Meet and Greek and Hunted. This is the North American Rival Series play-in. We just had our first team qualify, which was linked up, but now we have a pretty intense matchup between Sway Esports and Afterthought. We don't want to make them wait for too long, so why don't you guys get ready and talk about these teams before they get into the matchup?
Yeah, so Sway Esports versus Afterthought. I think Afterthought was probably the first thought in everybody's mind on teams who would qualify for the Rival Series. They've made it to this match. It's Shock, Sathu, and Dapper. A whole lot of experience on that team. They look to do well, but across the way, Bork, Savvy Seal, and Raw Greg have been playing together forever, and they look to upset the number 1 seed.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do indeed. And this is a team with confidence. This is the team that came in as Cleveland at the GexCon tournament in DC, and they took out Memory's team in the finals. This is a team with confidence, a team with poise, and a team with the skill. Now, you look at Afterthought's roster and it's stacked. You're absolutely right. It's absolutely a stacked team. But this team has the chemistry, Hunted, and we've seen it happen before.
We certainly have seen it before, and I'm just very excited to see if they can do it against one of the best teams.
Especially with like the run they've been having so far today. Sorry to interject there, but like Sway Esports, a lot of people were expecting them to qualify for this matchup, but they had to go through Avidity Esports, a team that we expected Loyal to make it to face off against them, but Clan Gang, a team that no one really expected to make it that far, they had to face off against them, did pretty well. 3-1 is like the most that they've had to worry about. And then Afterthought, straight 3-0s across the board. So what are your guys' thoughts about like who's going to come out on top? Because I know that confidence is a big thing you guys were talking about before.
Yeah, confidence and experience, I think, are probably the two largest factors when coming into this. And purely based on those, it's so very hard to pick against Afterthought. I really don't think it'll be 3 straight games. I'm going to have to go again with 4 games, 3-1. You know, I think Sway certainly have a chance if they can play quickly, but I'm going to go with Afterthought.
I'm just going to say this, Sway Esports 3-1. I DM'd Greg last night with my support. Let's do this.
It's going to be a pretty great matchup. I'll hand it off to you guys to get started with that one, and hopefully it goes well for the both teams involved, but it's going to be pretty intense of a matchup.
Yep, and we are just about ready to get started with game 1. Again, all of the games will be best of 5, and Meet and Greek, we talked about it, and you know, I had a chance to talk to Raw Greg a little bit earlier on in the week, and you know, of course, they're confident coming in. Obviously, they made it all the way here, but you know, they're not afraid of teams. They're not afraid of a team like Afterthought. They know that they can play well against them, but you know, they play such an overly aggressive style. They play so fast, so quickly on offense, and they are able to do that because their comms are so good amongst each other from playing with each other for so long.
Well, once you get past that fear factor of just seeing that Afterthought name on the screen, you can do anything. Let's put 5 minutes on the clock. Let's start this best of 5. Winner here will qualify for Season 8 of the Rival Series. Let's see what happens.
Yep, game number 1 just about underway. I could not be more excited. Sway Esports versus Afterthought is live now. Afterthought in orange, Dapper, Shock, and Sathu in blue. Sway Esports, Raw Greg, Bork, and Savvy Seal. See who gets the first opportunity. Dapper keeps the ball in. Raw Greg. Now Savvy. Demo by Sathu. Shock will find a way to play this ball out. There's Bork to try to turn it around, but Sathu keeps the ball in. 30 seconds gone by. Only 1 shot on the board. Sathu has a shot early on. Right to get another one there. Raw Greg has to hustle back and make the play. But both of these teams, Meet and Greek, they are so ready to qualify. I know that Sway Esports in particular have been trying for so many.
Okay.
They're going to start off with Sathu scoring on them early.
And I don't think Sway even thought this ball was going to be on target, but Shock, he looked like he was going to take that ball and throw it on net. Instead, he throws it back to Sathu, who with pinpoint accuracy finds the back of the goal. Afterthought now taking the early lead.
Just about a minute in, it is 1-0 for Afterthought. Raw Greg with a touch. Shock beats the player to the ball, but he hits the post with this shot. Nearly a 2-goal lead for Afterthought. Post comes up big for Sway. Dapper plays that over top of Savvy, and now Bork. Back down, Raw Greg. They have not found a whole lot of offense, have Sway, and they're not going to find any here. Savvy might even find a goal towards the net. Good play by Savvy to make that clear, and it has been all on the blue half to start us off game one.
Yeah, we're going to see if any momentum can be built for the side of Sway Esports. That's super huge for them to be able to take this ball and get it downtown.
Raw Greg, quick shot towards the net, gets saved by Dapper. Savvy now, great double touch, but Bork not able to get there. Shock will find the clear. Light touch, and Dapper sends it back. Here's Shock. This touch from Bork. Shock actually plays that wide. He had a shooting lane there. He has a sharp angle, but he missed it. Now bouncing around, still in the blue zone. Raw Greg, slight touch, and the game inching forward. Both teams really have not found a whole lot of shot opportunities, but that one goes in. Savvy gave it a little extra love to put it in the back of the net, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunate indeed, but you see Shock here. It's just a stereotypical bar down, but I believe it was Bork on defense. Hit that one in by accident. Unfortunate circumstances.
We'll make it 2-0 in favor of Afterthought. Halfway. Quickly approaching. Again, this is game one of a best of 5. The winner of this qualifying for the rival series, season 8. Savvy and Dapper taking each other out in mid. Gonna give Shock some space to work with. Savvy off the respawn, does make the play. There's Dapper now, down towards Sathu. The bouncer will find its way home. Sathu gets his second, and it is now 3-0 for Afterthought.
Hunted, the barrel is leaking fast, and we got to find a way to plug these holes in this defense. As Afterthought, they're just running away with this game. It's already 3-0. There's 2 minutes left. What more can they throw on net?
Got to find something to Sway, as that one was just wide from Sathu off the kickoff. Really, the name of the game has just been a lack of opportunities for Sway. They have not found themselves on the offensive side of the ball. Only 2 shots registered up to this point. Less than a shot per minute. That one will go in, though. Gets the third shot on the board, does find its way in, but a bit of a defensive miscue that time by Afterthought.
Yeah, and very uncharacteristic here for Sway Esports. I believe we talked about it a little bit to ourselves, Hunted, where this Sway team is very offensive oriented. They like to bring so much pressure and play fast, but Afterthought has been doing such a great job of shutting that down and forcing them to play on their own tempo.
Yeah, one of the things that Sway really loves is that midfield presence, and Afterthought has absolutely taken that from them. It has been all orange cars in and around midfield, making the touches, getting to the ball quickly. And it has really shut down any opportunities for Sway Esports, but they have found a goal. They are only down by 2. Shock makes a touch. This one's dangerous out in front, but Raw Greg was very late to that play. Now Bork has to clear it away. Final 70 seconds of game 1. Boomer from Savvy. That'll find its way in. And they just keep finding a way to put goals on the board, and all of a sudden it's a 1-goal game.
And it's very interesting because the momentum is very clearly still in Afterthought's favor, but Sway is just finding ways to get these long balls on goal, the defense out of position. They're playing it very smart.
Now they have a minute to try to find one more goal. Savvy underneath Shock. He's got a one-on-one with Sathu. Goes under as well. Second of the game for Savvy, and we're tied.
3 uncontested, unchallenged goals. Raw Greg doing all he could to keep Savvy away from that. All Savvy had to do was dribble that ball into net. And what happened to this lead? It just dissolved.
The resilience from Sway Esports to find the equalizer. Might even get another one that just hits the bar. A beautiful challenge from Raw Greg. almost put them in the lead. They've made the comeback. Can they cap it off with a final goal? There's only 40 seconds left. Shock and Dapper double commit for that play, but they do wind up with possession. And now offensive zone time as Savvy has to try to play this away from Sassy. Can't quite do it. It's dangerous out in front. No real follow-up. There's Shock now. With 25 seconds to go, we are heading closer and closer to overtime in game one. Now 17 to go. Into the corner. Great play from Shock. Savvy can't keep it in. This could turn into an odd man situation. Both teams backing off the ball heavily, not wanting to give up that final second goal. Great touch from Shock to get it by the two defenders. We will go into overtime in game one.
This game just took a complete 180. Who knew this game would go to overtime? Looking back when there was still 2 minutes left, Punch, this is absolutely insane.
Good Shock, and then here he had a chance. Couldn't quite get the double touch, and now Dapper keeps it going. Down and out. Good play from Dapper. Raw Greg to clear it over the top. There's Shock. Now Savvy. He's looking for some support from his teammates. Actually gets it by the first two defenders. Now he's up in the air. Looking for the pass. Raw Greg's there, but he gets beat to the ball by Shock. They look to play offense now, does Afterthought. This game has absolutely turned on its head. And this could be it!
No way! No way!
And Sway complete the comeback.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Afterthought, what happened? They just completely borked this game.
Unbelievable sights. And this is only game one.
What? What?
A pure, unbelievable victory. Savvy gets his hat trick. Absolutely steals the game away from Afterthought, who looked comfortably in command after the first 3 minutes of the game. Up 3-0, end up dropping the lead, dropping the game, and Sway Esports are one game closer.
Sway way, baby, sway way. I cannot believe that.
Wow.
Did we really just watch this game happen?
And
no way.
Correct me if I'm wrong, that's the first game Afterthought has dropped today.
I believe that is, I believe that's true. I believe that's true. We'll wait for Vaudeville to give us confirmation on that when we come back, but wow. Sway coming through. This is only game one.
Yes, it is only game one. There's at least at least two more games to play, and it did not look bad for Afterthought. It looked quite good.
Yeah, I know.
Again, the first 3 minutes, but the resiliency and just the ability of Sway to find the shots when it seemed like there weren't any there is not the MO of their team, but they're pulling it out now.
Hey, whatever works. All of those goals coming through for Sway were on defensive errors, and they're going to play the smart way of trying to figure out how to score on this team. Well, hey, guess what? They scored 4 in a row exactly the same way. They're going to take that win. A win's a win. Let's see if they can get 2 more.
That game number 2 is now underway. Sway Esports up 1 over the first seeded Afterthought. Can they do it? We'll have to find out. Or clears it down the pitch. Sathu back to play it away, and that has been the killer for Afterthought. Meet and Greek is not having someone back, and long clears finding their way in.
Yeah, and we can see actually what Sway's doing, and I think it's really smart. They're already boost stealing on the orange half of Afterthought. They're trying to just minimize the offensive capabilities of this team and apply some more pressure.
Well, Greg will turn on this one, chase it into the orange corner. Gets by Sathu. He does get back to the ball and forces that into his other corner. Now Bort goes by 2, but he gets bumped on the way, so no follow-up from him. Easy save for Sathu there. Raw Greg, wonderful challenge. Savvy can't quite make that play. With a minute gone by, game number 2. No score on the board as of yet. Foul touch from Raw Greg with Savvy is the first one there. Now off the backlog, clear from Savvy. And again, the vice starting to tighten on the blue end. This is what got Afterthought out to an early lead, keeping the grip on the blue team, but they're finding ways to get clears now. It's much different from game 1.
Yeah, it is, and Sway is looking scared. They're playing full speed here, Hunted, and it's almost looking like Afterthought they have to change their game plan if they want to score.
It does certainly look like Sway is playing with a ton of confidence after that first game victory. Can they find the first goal? Good play from Sathu to keep that away. Here's Bork. Back wall, Dapper will clear. Savvy back into the orange corner. Wonderful touch from Sathu, plays it back, and Raw Greg now. Great touch of his own. He goes by Shock, looking for the bump onto Dapper, but he avoids that beautifully. This comes out in front. Oh, off the post. Off Sathu and off the post, and Sway don't find the first score, but they have gotten very close.
Yeah, they have indeed, and they're bringing the pressure, but watch out for Shock. But Savvy had to do some acrobatics to get that ball out of the net. He does it again.
Great play. I think that was more of a right place, right time save for Savvy. Dapper had a lot of open net to shoot at. Tried to play it low right into Savvy, and unfortunately now they're getting crossed up a little bit. Nearly an opportunity for all Greg, but he gets demoed on the backside by Sathu. Good bump from Bork. Pushes all three players on the offensive side for Afterthought. They do manage to keep it in, and it's scary. You can see it sometimes. Afterthought getting a bit too grouped up in mid, and it takes one good clear from Sway to punish him for it.
Yeah, and the fire is igniting here for Sway, but Afterthought with some great offensive rotations, he find it.
They are very lucky they scored that goal because both players were up. That could have been a clear from Savvy, and Raw Greg was waiting for it. Wonderful touch, wonderful goal. Afterthought up by 1.
Did you bring up a great point? They are very lucky they scored that goal because nobody was back on defense. That clear could have gone easily the other way.
Raw Greg looking for the equalizer just off the kickoff. He didn't quite have the boost to get it home. A minute 43 to go. It's a 1-0 lead for Afterthought. Could change now as Savvy's looking for Bork. But Savvy makes the play. Here's Raw Greg. Up, Shock to clear. Has Dapper to send it back down. And now Shock. Easy save for Savvy. And Raw Greg, again, the boom and clear. Back wall. Savvy! Post down! It's on the goal line and it's cleared away. That's an unfortunate one for Sway. They set up the play. All it took was one more touch to find the back of the goal, but they couldn't do it.
That ball was highlighted in that net. It was shaking, about to explode, but it barely got away. But Sway is not stopping here.
Bork. Just took his time to get to that ball. Savvy got the better of him, but Raw Greg, a beautiful pass to Savvy. Couldn't quite get by Dapper, though. Raw Greg keeps it in. The demo's in, but it is just wide. Not enough power on that ball. Dapper will clear. 40 seconds left. 1-0 for Afterthought. Shock. Now beating Savvy. Here's Sathu. Quick touch. Now Raw Greg looking for Bork, but it's Dapper to keep the ball in. 25 seconds to go. That is not the greatest touch from Shock. Here comes the demo. It's just it's still there out in front, but they can't put it home. 15 seconds now. It's Savvy off the back wall. Cleared by Shock, but Bork keeps it in. He's got Raw Greg in supporting mid, trying to go under Sathu. Won't be able to do it. 5 seconds now. Sathu clears. Back is Savvy. He's got to keep the ball in the air to Greg. That'll touch the ground. And Afterthought, they fight back and equalize this series at 1.
Goodness gracious, Afterthought to fight tooth and nail for this Game 2 victory. They tie the series up, Hunter. Now it's just basically a best of 3 from here on out. But this game was a lot scarier for the side of Sway Esports. You saw them coming out, and they played a much better game overall compared to Game 1.
Honestly, I think they played a better game in Game 2 than Afterthought did. And, you know, it was so many opportunities for Sway to put something in the net. It only took one. They couldn't do it. I mean, how many posts, how many crossbars and stuff did we see from them? If they just fixed the striking a little bit, that could have easily gone in their favor.
No, it really could have, folks. The team that scores the most goals typically ends up winning the game here. And how you score those goals, you have to have shot opportunities, and Sway Esports had plenty of them. They had 9 compared to Afterthought's 5. So the offense was there for Sway. They just couldn't get it done. Now we're going to go to Game 3 and see what happens.
You know, I would like to see Sway a little bit quicker on the follow-ups on shots off the back wall or off the opponents out in front of the goal. You know, try to find those rebound goals or those second touches to get it by the defenders. We saw kind of a lot of one-and-done type plays where they just weren't in position to follow up, and a couple of times they were a bit hesitant to activate on offense.
Yeah, they were, and that's just how the game is. You got to get that tempo going, but now we have a fresh slate. Both teams are tied. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, Game 3 will be getting underway shortly. As I believe we had a little bit of a server issue, but we will get that settled as we move into game number 3. It's dead even, 1-1. I really don't even think the momentum is in Afterthought's favor after that game. It really felt like they were on the back foot.
I really don't think so either, especially because they came in as the clear favorites. I don't have the voting results. I do have the voting results in front of me. Over 60% of our wonderful viewers believe that Afterthought is going to be able to take this one, but it just seems like Sway is taking this underdog story to the next level. They are really bringing it to Afterthought.
That they are, and you know, honestly, I'm surprised that only 60% said in favor of Afterthought. I would have imagined that would have been a bit more, but you know, a lot of support for Sway Esports. We'll see if they can pull this one out after taking a 1-game early lead and take a 1-goal early lead in Game 3.
This is scary. Right off the back, Afterthought, and again, the defensive positioning is really troubling. Dapper was on the backboard, Shock was in the air, but no one was in position to make that clear, and it bothers me almost in a way. This is not the Afterthought that we're used to seeing.
No, and perhaps it's nerves, perhaps it's again, maybe, you know, Sway could be disrupting what they're doing. I mean, we've seen a lot of demos from Sway. We've seen them try to be the aggressors on the offensive side of the ball, more so in Game 2 than Game 1. But Afterthought, they can certainly respond. They are such a quality team, a lot of individual skill. They've been here before. Good clear from Bork. Better save from Sathu. Another demo out in front. Dapper's the only man back. Savvy off the post. Almost gets the double. Shock will eventually find the clear. That's Sathu in support. That's a bit of a double commit. Dapper's the only one back. You've got to be so careful when you're on those odd man breaks. If it turns around against you, it can be an odd man break the other way.
Yeah, it can, but right now things are looking very scary for Afterthought as they might finally start to get an offensive pressure here.
Really, this is the first zone time that we've seen from Afterthought as Shock keeps the ball in. While Greg looking for Bork, he was the last man back. Savvy would beat him there, and now Savvy 50 against Shock. Got him in front. Good play from Bork to cut that one off. Ins the 50 as well, and now Sathu tries to keep it in. Good play.
Big bump on
by
Greg.
Dapper, and that will be all that's necessary to tie the game.
Yeah, and right here, Greg was in position, unfortunately for him. Afterthought's going to give him a taste of his own medicine, give Shock so much time to ballerina twirl that ball into the back of the net, tying this one up. And now a little bit of momentum change now. Let's see if Afterthought can bring this back.
3:10 to go. We'll find the tiebreaker. That nearly went in. Good save from Sathu. Here's Bork towards the net. Dapper's up to make the clear. Now Raw Greg rotates around. End one out. Shock has no problems controlling that and playing it back. Good touch towards the top of the goal. Easy clear again from Raw Greg. His team's so good on the back wall. Sathu unfortunately whiffing on that one. Dapper in an awkward position does make the play, but Raw Greg now looking for a pass. He's got Bork on the right side of the net. There's Savvy. He missed it wide. Bork trying to turn it around. That is one that has to go in from Sway.
Pixels away from finding the net, but no purchase found as Shock almost taking the lead there for Afterthought. This is starting to get scary for Sway.
Again, striking. Hurting them here in game 3. That's a good clear from Bork. Dapper, now Bork one more time. Down out in front, nobody there to challenge. Shot keeps it in the blue zone. Now Sathu. That's just in. Wow, it finally came in. I thought there'd be a save on that ball, but none come out.
At least a challenge. Yeah, no, a miscommunication. Very rare to see it here from Sway Esports, but it just looked like no one was up for that ball.
It looked like there was a bit of a lack of boost on the blue half as well. But either way, it's 2-1 now in favor of Afterthought. Looking for even more. They were down 1 game in the series after an unbelievable comeback from Sway. They equalized in game 2, and now they have a 1-game lead with just about 95 seconds left. I think the story of this game has been a tale of 2 Sways.
It really has.
I mean, when they show up and they get on the offensive side of the ball, they are very scary. But it's at times like these where it's just some miscommunications. Afterthought's taking advantage.
Yeah, game 3 just falling apart for Sway. We kind of saw the same thing happen in game 1, and there's still ample time for them to bring this back, but they just gotta really get on that defensive pressure and get the clears they need. But when you let the ball roll in that easily, things are very worrying.
Well, we saw them come back from a 3-goal lead, or I'm sorry, from a 3-goal deficit in game 1. Sathu's looking to make it a 3-goal lead. Now he will. A great demo from Dapper. But if you're Afterthought, this is probably the scariest lead.
Yeah, and they definitely tune themselves, but you can't give Sathu that much time in the air.
No.
Absolutely cannot. He's going to score you almost every single time.
That was a wonderful goal from Sathu. Got a lot of help from Dapper. But the team play from Afterthought coming to the forefront now. Final minute to go. No. This one will find its way in. Completely faked Raw Greg here, and it's 5-1.
I'm sorry to say, but Sway Esports just forgetting how to play defense here. I mean, again, they're just playing so frantically. We saw Raw Greg attempt to just boost as fast as he can into that ball, and he has to trust his team. He knows that they're going to be back in time. You got to take your time a little bit.
See if they can try to mount a comeback here, but with only 45 seconds left, a 4-goal lead definitely seems a bit out of reach, especially against an Afterthought team that's been playing so very well. Dapper even keeps that one in the zone. That looked like an opportunity for Raw Greg. Certainly seems like Afterthought learned their lesson after game 1. They have not let a ton of open nets when Sway is looking to clear.
No, they definitely did, but something to really reconsider here is the tempo of this game. Sway is clearly not playing to their full potential as Dapper just puts another one in. 5-goal lead hunted, but it's almost hard to say, like, going back to what you said earlier about a tale of 2 Sways, you're absolutely correct. It's like it's a completely different team out there right now.
Well, we have 11 seconds left. I'd like for you to put on your Coach Meet and Greek hat for me, if you could. What are you telling Sway? What are you telling Sway going into game 4?
They just got to bring the pressure. That's all it is. They cannot let Afterthought change the tempo. Afterthought loves this slow play style. They are just eating it up. And they're getting so many opportunities. As a result, if you're Sway Esports, you got to speed things up. Make Afterthought make those mistakes, because if you're playing so conservatively, you're just giving them so much time to perfect their game. That's basically how it is.
Yeah, we saw Sathu with all that time and space, and it almost looked a bit too easy for him when he scored his beautiful flip reset goal. But I agree with you. I think that it's the ethos of Sway is aggression. How do we get on the offensive side of the ball? How do we hem teams into their zone? And when they're at times not showing that, they're showing panic, fear, they're showing hesitation, and that is the exact opposite of their game plan.
It really is, but hey, it's game 3. It's not over yet, but it's just got a lot tougher for Sway Esports. They got to win 2 in a row here in order to qualify for the rival series. Afterthought, they thought they were going to go into this game and it was going to be a slugfest and be super easy for them, but Sway's making it just a little bit difficult. Let's see if the tides can turn for them or if Afterthought will continue on to Season 8.
Game 4 just about to begin. 5 minutes on the clock as always. And again, Afterthought up 2-1 in the series. Sway Esports looking to find the equalizing game. Send us to a Game 5. Will they be able to do it? Will Afterthought qualify for the rival series? Now Sathu, great demo onto Bork, opens up some space. Dapper, the early goal, 15 seconds in.
And just looks like Afterthought just getting back to their roots from the last game as well, just bringing it forward. And Sway, super uncharacteristic here, hunted, and it's tough to see. There's still plenty of time left, though, to change their mistakes, but now they're really playing on their heels.
You don't want to play from behind, especially when you're already behind in the series, especially in games you have to win. You want to try to be ahead as much as possible, and that shot from Shock will send them down 2 goals now.
And talk about the play, he just serves himself up this shot. Shock is ridiculous, man. We've seen him play so often in both CRL, CCA, so much. And now he's just unstoppable and trying to make it into the rival series here for Season 8. Unreal.
Another goal as well. A beautiful pass, this time from Sathu. And it's a 3-goal lead for Afterthought. Sway have to change this up. But a team like Afterthought, we talked about it, Meet and Greek, Shock, Sathu, and Dapper, probably the 3 most experienced players that we have playing today. Certainly the most experienced team. Shock tries to play that one down, and, you know, again, talking to Sathu before the tournament, I asked, with everybody having as much experience as they do, you know, who is the leader of the team? And he told me that Shock has completely taken over the reins of the team. He is the guy that keeps them level-headed, keeps them playing to the level they know they can play in. If Shock really is that team leader, he has done an excellent job of getting them back on track after Game 1.
100% agree. Every team needs a rock to keep it together. And you can just tell it by the way they're playing right now. They're just cheesing it up. Look at these passes that they're throwing on net, the shots, the angles that they're taking. They're having a blast right now. And Sway is playing frantically. It's like a completely different story. This is not a dream anymore for them. It's a nightmare.
They still have at least a little bit of time to try to turn it back into a dream, as that was all 3 players looking for the save. Was Shock to make it. Does find the clear, dangerous sights from Afterthought, but they don't concede yet. That's a great touchdown to Savvy. He goes off the wall. There's Borg. That's in.
Okay.
Sway find a passing play of their own, and they're on the board.
Sway starting to speed things up, and again, it's the story of the double commits coming out, and that is the largest crux here for Afterthought. It leaves them way too open, and they do it too many times.
3-1, 3:06 to go. Can Sway pull the comeback again? This is eerily similar to Game 1. Granted, they scored with much more time remaining. Now Bork tries to play this by Dapper. Be able to. Sathu towards the net. Great play from Savvy. Bork now in an uncomfortable position. Getting demoed by Sathu as well, but Rockreg is there to clear. Try to put his team on the offensive side. Won't be able to beat Sathu to that ball. This could be scary. Savvy off the top of the goal. Beautiful play. Shock looking for Dapper. Dapper down. It's too slow. Doesn't have the power to make it towards the back of that goal. This is an Afterthought team who is firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and I kind of like that Dapper down. That's like a signature move almost there. But hey, 2 minutes left. Sway, plenty of time to put some more goals on, maybe potentially tie this up, but right now, the way it stands, Afterthought is complete control.
Final 2 minutes. Game number 4, it's still 2 necessary from Sway. Hard clear from Bork off the wall. Sathu, light touch, looking for Shock. Into the corner now is Savvy. Bork now back down towards Savvy. He doesn't have the boost, but he wins the challenge against Sathu. Raw Greg, he had time there, and he just opted to take the shot. I want to slow it down a little bit more, especially when Shock is sitting on the goal line.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. Do you take the shot or wait for the defense to keep on rotating back? It's really just a question of what's happening in the field at the time, where your teammates are.
Either way, we're getting so very close to the end of game number 4 now. Sway has had opportunities they haven't been able to find. The goals necessary to tie. They've only got a minute left to do it. Sathu almost made it 4-1, but Shock Will gets his hat trick in the game. It's 4-1, 61 to go.
And Shock just popping off this entire game, almost this entire series. And things coming through for them. They are looking at another season of Rival Series. Can they finish it here? I think they can.
Into the corner, Dapper down. Almost played that by Raw Greg, but he ends up getting the touch. And now Savvy will clear. They have to score pretty much on this possession or the next one if they want any opportunity. Shock plays it back down. Bork is up first. Savvy does get a light touch on it, but Savvy finds the clear. 35 seconds to go. 3 goals needed. Solid clear again from Shock, wasting even more time. Good control from Bork, looking for Raw Greg. He's up in the air. He's got Sathu to beat. Goes over top of him. Now Savvy towards the net. Dapper. Uncomfortable for Shock, but they do clear it away. With only 17 seconds, time is quickly running out. But Bork, a beautiful touch. It gives Sway life.
Is life in the tank with 14 seconds left, but talk about this touch on the wheels. Did he get the flip reset on that and jump right on that ball to give it just a little more oomph? That was ridiculous.
Unbelievable, but they still need 2. 12 seconds to go. They've got the score with time remaining. Bork by Sathu. Raw Greg doesn't get there. Dapper will kill all the remaining seconds. That will do it. Afterthought, hold on. They take the 3-1 series victory, and they will compete in the Rival Series yet again.
Afterthought, congratulations. Moving on to the Rival Series, but Sway Esports almost bringing it back. They gave us quite a show, Hunted.
It was a wonderful show, and I would watch that series 100 more times if I could. It really felt like Sway had an opportunity to really take it to Afterthought. They just couldn't finish off game number 2. But I would really love to hear what Vaudable has to say about that series we just watched.
Oh, man, that was an amazing series between both of those teams. Again, congrats to Afterthought requalifying for the Rival Series. We see Sathu back under the umbrella of the RLCS umbrella that we see with that and the Rival Series. But what's important about that is that Sway, they didn't give up after getting dominated 6-1 in game 3. They were almost able to bring it a little bit back in game 4. If they get into a similar situation in the lower bracket where they are losing grasp of a series, how should they prepare themselves to go forward?
Well, it comes down to just mental attitude and trusting your teammates. You know, if you get tilted, you've got to realize that you're getting tilted, and you've got to return yourself to that positive mental state. It's so important when it comes down to those final series. And I don't think they got tilted. I think they got a little flustered, especially game 2 and 3.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, I think they stayed positive. They just couldn't overcome Afterthought.
Well, goodness gracious. Sway Esports, and this is something we did touch upon earlier. This is a team that heavily relies on communication. And they've been together for so long that if they do find themselves in a hole in the lower bracket, they just got to keep on pushing on, keep on playing their style, and play fast. I think that's their main advantage against a lot of these teams, is about how quick they can get to that ball.
And it was great to really see how Afterthought, even after losing in overtime in that first game, were able to just bring things back. Even though Sway were so confident and were able to go toe-to-toe with them for such a long time, maybe not so much in that third game. They're still going to be going strong in the lower bracket. They have some opponents that are also going to be dangerous to face off against potentially. Satisfaction, who upset Bolsend before, if that matchup works out well for them. 72-pin Connector. And then some other potential matchups that they'll be seeing there. But they aren't done yet. We do have Afterthought and linked up currently 2 out of 7 of the teams that are qualifying today for the Rival Series. It is 10 teams that'll be playing this season. It's going to be a great time. You don't want to miss it. Stay here on Rival Esports for the North American Rival Series play-in.